And we are live once again. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Prince Magnum channel where hot rodding and romance do coexist. I'm your host, Prince Magnum. Welcome to the special lives that we're going to be doing between now and when the all of this kind of blows over. We're going to be doing some lives that'll kind of help everyone kind of weather this storm, I guess you could say, this shopping nightmare that has been sweeping the nation. Right now, we're looking at some preserving stuff that we can do. It'll help occupy your time, and it's a great way to preserve produce. So you're not, if you will, you're not. Hey, what's going on, Sean? So you're not struggling to kind of keep up. Hey, there you are, Harrison. Good to see you, buddy. Oh wow, we already got two in the live and already one like. Thank you guys so much. Basically, this is going to be a cooking episode where we're going to be touching base on what we can do to preserve some food, kind of make produce last a little bit longer so it doesn't start growing fuzz in our refrigerator during this shopping nightmare that's sweeping our country here in the United States. If you're across the pond, I don't know what it's like. So we're going to be making some homemade pickles. All right, yeah, send me a link to your Discord. I would love to join your Discord. I've got Discord set up, and I have my own Discord set up, but I just haven't pushed it, that sort of thing. But I'm all set up on Discord. Okay, so basically what we have here is a couple different jars. All right, in this particular jar, I've got a full size cucumber, sliced up nice and thin, about a quarter of an inch, which you could do with a V-slicer, a mandolin, food processor, however you want to do it, whatever the case is. That's how we've done it. And I've also added 2 cloves of garlic. This is going to be a sour pickle, okay? So we're going to do that right here. In this jar, I've got some jalapenos. I've got about, well, you guys can see how much, along with a couple of cloves of garlic, again, sliced up and dropped into the jar. So we are good to go there. Along with that, let me kind of touch base on what we've got right here. We've got some ingredients kind of set out. You can kind of see. I've got about a cup of filtered water. Basically, I've got a pitcher that I ran because the water in where I live kind of tastes like it came out of the city pool, just the way it is. So I've got that taken care of. So I have a cup of water right over here. I've also got a cup of apple cider vinegar and a half a cup of red wine vinegar right here. Along with that, for those keeping track, if you decide to follow along and try this yourself at home, along with that, I've got half a cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons, along with 2 teaspoons of kosher salt right here. Then I've got 1 tablespoon of mustard seed, along with a tablespoon of celery seed. Again, 2 cloves of garlic have also been added to the jars. Okay, so that's how we're going to start this pickling process off. Now, please note, Princess Faye is not here for this pickling. She hates the smell of vinegar, so that's why we're doing this kind of, if you will, by ourselves like this. Okay, so we're going to start adding our ingredients. Okay, cup of water. Now this will render a pickle kind of a sour taste, and with the jalapeno peppers, it just makes sense. Okay, and it'll come out nice and hot and all that good stuff. There's our mustard seed, sugar, salt, and celery seed. If you've never been in my lives before, when I do cooking like this, let me say right now that one of the things you guys will notice is I will measure everything out long before I get to this point. Okay, so basically long before I started the live, I was already doing this stuff. Okay, we're going to bring this to a boil. Okay, and again, this is homemade pickling. This is not like what you're going to buy in the store. This is going to be a slightly different flavor. These pickles will be good for a grand total of about 3 months in your refrigerator. So you give them about a week for the magic to happen, if you will, for these to be turned into pickles. After that, they're good for about a month in your refrigerator. If you were to happen to lose power because, during this entire situation, it kind of depends, okay? It kind of depends. Basically, if you start to see it grow fuzz, throw it out, okay? And most of the time when I do pickles, I get maybe at best a grand total of, I would say, if you were to twist my arm, you get round about, fuzz is bad. Thank you, Harrison. I would get around about, if you were to twist my arm, I would say about a month and a half out of my pickles. And that's not because they went bad. It's just because we ate them. Okay. So again, this is a great way to make your produce last a little bit longer. All right. We're going to use my whisk here and kind of stir that up. And we're going to wait for this to come to a boil. Then we're going to turn off the heat and let this sit for about 4 minutes. All right. So in the meantime, while my really crappy stove takes the next 100 years to come to a boil, I will also tell you that there's some irony in this particular live. Originally, for those that do not know, if you were to go way back in the Prince Magnum channel's history, you would note that initially we started to do urban survival. I thought it was, that was the initial thought process. So before we started doing the cars and the romance and everything like that, initially the Prince Magnum channel was going to be an urban survival sort of thing. What if a natural disaster was to happen? And that didn't, people really weren't watching that stuff. And I thought, I'll just go back to my roots. I started in with cars, and before you knew it, I was getting into romance and everything. So it was getting interesting as far as that went. And so that's where all that started. And I was telling Princess Faye, like a couple of days before all this stuff kind of came down the pipe, ironically enough, I was telling her, I said, looking back at the channel and looking at that old stuff where I was started to do the urban survival, boy, that was really dumb. And then we start hearing all these towns and cities being quarantined off. I'm like, I just ate my own words. So right here on the Prince Magnum channel, I'm going to openly admit, on my own channel, I ended up eating my own words, in this entire mess. Because little did I know that a lot of stuff that I picked up, whether it be in nursing or just hanging out with a bunch of redneck types and just having an interest in history, little did I know that I was going to be doing lives trying to help people kind of weather this storm, if you will, with the coronavirus and everything. So that's the sheer irony. I openly admit I was wrong. Okay. That wasn't a dumb idea. Knowledge is power, And while I'm still waiting for this to, just about there. I want this at a rolling boil. And again, I'm going to set my timer for about 4 minutes. As soon as I shut this off, I'm going to hit that button and let that kind of begin cooling down. Mm-hmm. So now that we're on this subject of, urban survival and everything and how I ended up eating my own words. Again, if you live in a major metropolitan area, I know some areas have been quarantined off for like 3 weeks. This will help you stretch your food supplies because you're not going to be able to get out into the public and everything. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, they're saying that by the end of April, this should all blow over. We should be okay. However, there's going to be some people that are not going to listen, and we could be dealing with this stuff all the way up until the end of August. So do me a favor, take some notes and, quarantine, if you will, kind of quarantine yourself as much as possible because I want to get to doing car shows. That's what this channel's really been wanting to do for like almost 2 years now to get back to doing car shows. All right, so now we're at that rolling boil. Woo! I'm killing the heat. We're going to leave this lidded up, okay? Now, start my timer. As soon as that 4 minutes is up, we're going to go ahead and start jarring this up, if you will. Now, some of you might be asking the question, okay, Prince Magnum, this is a pretty cool deal. Why did you bring that to a boil? Well, number one, you had to dissolve the salt and you had to dissolve the sugar. Okay, so this in order to do that, you have to bring it to a boil. You have to bring cold liquids to a boil at that point. All right, so if you will, to melt that all down, we needed it at a boil. Why wait 4 minutes afterwards? Well, number one, the thermal shock to these jars could shatter them, okay? So we want to give this enough time to cool back down. Along with that, giving it that extra time will help wake up the other flavors from the flavor pack that we added, the mustard seed, the celery seed. That'll help all of that kind of open up and kind of give that nice flavor that we're looking for, okay? So take the extra time, okay? Take the extra time. Now, I will also say this is not a full like preservative sort of thing. Like, if you will, when you're making jelly and you're looking at long-term storage and that sort of thing, that is not what this is, okay? That's a whole nother process, and that requires a lot of special tools that we just don't have here on the channel. But this will get you in the ballpark where you're good for up to, again, about 3 months. So, if you will, that's just kind of an example. Harrison's over here taking notes. That's my boy. That's my boy. I'm going to tell y'all right now, Harrison Ford Universe. He's absolute. Any stream this guy is ever in is just. He always makes it interesting. He's one of my favorites. As a matter of fact, him and I used to sit in Choice Games stream, and we would have so much fun together, and we'd play around. And of course, when we go into other streams, we have a great time. Harrison is just one of those guys. If you got a live stream going, you want him there because he brings so much personality to your stream. Just an amazing friend. And Harrison, I hope one day you and I could go take a cruise in Project Spirit, my 1975 Ford Maverick. Also in this live, I'm going to show you how to make an amazing. Yes, I do mean that, Harrison. Yes, I do, buddy. Let me say right now, we're also going to make an amazing garlic oil that I can show you guys how to put on. That'll actually store pretty doggone well, store for a long time, as long as you keep it out of sunlight and keep air from it and everything like that. So I'm going to show you how to make an amazing garlic oil. And if we get enough people in the live, I might show you how to make an amazing homemade bruschetta. I'm not kidding you. I know it sounds, ooh, that sounds technical. Yeah. You guys are going to love it. I promise. Okay. So if we get enough people in the live, we're going to definitely do that. If not, I'm going to show you at least one amazing use you can use for this garlic oil that we're going to make. Okay. And again, this stuff keeps for a long time. You can make salad dressings with it, homemade salad dressings, homemade vinaigrettes. You can add it to all sorts of stuff. So you guys are gonna take a lot of this in. All right. My timer's about to go off. Right there. Okay. So we're gonna turn off the timer, get everything set. Now this is still at a good hot rolling, almost still a good rolling boil. So we're going to crack open our jars. All right. Now, don't be afraid if your jars don't take, basically take all of the liquid all at once. Don't panic on that. All right. And because I am occasionally pretty messy, I'm going to break out my funnel. Be careful if you've got white counters. This will stain your counter. Nice and smooth. I'm getting it everywhere. Now you see why I got the funnel, because this would have been a bigger mess if I hadn't. Now you're going to bring this up good ways, just like that. Okay? Move the funnel, move it over here. Ha! I'm making a mess. There we go. Don't panic. That's what they made sponges for. At least it tastes good. What do we got? Who just popped in? Hey, what's going on, gamer? And we're making some homemade pickles, kind of weather this crazy storm. There we go. Cap that off. Well, no, we're going to leave that open for a little while. All right. Now for the jalapenos. Now, again, do not panic. This doesn't cover it all, because here in just a bit, we're going to add the rest of this back in. Promise you, it'll need it. Leave these uncovered for a bit. Yeah, I'll clean it up. I promise. That's just one of the problems with doing things that I do. Again, thank you so much. We have 3 people in the live, 1 like already. Be sure to hit the like button if you're enjoying this. Princess Faye is going to execute me if I don't clean that up. Who knows what we might do in this live so far. But I'm going to show you all some cool stuff, cool hacks. All better. And because it's mostly vinegar, it's not so bad. Again, 3 people in like. I just got my, 3 people in chat. I just got my second like. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. Again, homemade pickled jalapenos. Homemade sour pickles. Jar's a little warm. So now we've got that covered. And as it begins to cool a little bit, we're going to top this off with the rest of the pickle juice. There we go. And we're good to go. Right up to the top, even floating a little bit. There we go. We got that. All right, now I'm going to rinse this out real good, because we're going to need this again here in a minute. Again, we're doing this. For those of you who live in major metropolitan areas, this is a great way to kind of save your produce, getting fresh produce and things like that. So we're going to go ahead and stash these in the refrigerator. And these are now, in about a week, will be pickles. All right. So we got that covered now. All right. So let's move this out of my way. On to the next project, okay? The next project. The next project is none other than making an amazing garlic oil, which will store for a good long while. Here we go. Now, I'm using a classic olive oil or a cold pressed olive oil, whichever you want to do, okay? Either one will do. Notice I didn't say extra virgin olive oil. Please do not use extra virgin olive oil, because we are going to have to heat this up. Extra virgin olive oil does not like, it doesn't like a whole lot of, it doesn't like a high heat. It breaks down, starts smoking really heavy, and then brings on really nasty flavors. So don't do that. Also remember, your olive oils are heart friendly, so doing this along with using garlic, you're helping your heart, okay? And especially right now with everyone trying to stay healthy, trying to weather this storm, that's a really good idea. I've got a total of 4 cloves of garlic, crushed up and chopped into some decent sized pieces, kind of like about like that. Okay. So that will now go in, and we're going to turn up the heat. Do not walk away from this. Okay. I'm going to clamp on the lid and give this a jiggle every now and again. Now, what's going to happen here now is the garlic flavor will now infuse with the oil as the temperature rises. Now, the other cool thing about this is if garlic, when you cut it and chop it up and all that other stuff, will take on sweet flavors over time. So this will kind of get a sweet, kind of a sweet flavor, but it'll still retain that garlicky taste that so many people like with pastas and things like that. This stuff goes great on pastas. And again, if we get enough people in live, we'll definitely do a bruschetta. If we don't do that, I will at least also show you guys how to turn regular ramen noodles into something really amazing. I kid you not. You could do all sorts of stuff with this. We're definitely going to do that. Definitely, because I'm getting hungry myself. Okay. And I'm going to show you how to do all that. It's going to be amazing. You guys are going to love this. Okay. In the meantime, while we're doing that, we're waiting for this to kind of heat up a little bit. There we go. Clamp back on the lid. I'm going to get a little bit more garlic. All right. Got my clove of garlic here. I'm only going to need about 2 cloves. Okay, 2 cloves. Come on. Now, I know sometimes peeling these can be a pain in the butt. I know for a lot of us out there, it's a pain in the rump. I'll show you guys a cool little hack. Okay, if your hands are strong enough and you can kind of take the abuse a little bit, you kind of press down and rub it around in your hand, and the skin just comes right off, right like that. Real easy. Smaller ones are a little bit harder, but it's the same principle. Same basic principle. There it goes. There it goes. Just like that. Just like that. Now, let me set out my cutting board. Boom. There we go. Got to watch that heat. I'll get out a sharp, pointy instrument. All right. With the flat of the blade, press down, garlic breaks, just like that, okay? Then you're going to cut carefully. Just like that, okay? I know there's some specialty garlic crushers out there on the market. Please don't fall for that, okay? Please don't fall for that. Those garlic crushers just destroy the garlic. You want to crush it and cut it to whatever size you need, okay? So that's exactly what we've done. Well, this piece can be a little bit smaller. And that's a waste of money. A chef's knife, just a regular chef's knife, and a cutting board. That's all you need, all right? And that's cheap and easy to get your hands on. Okay, there we go. We're going to kill the heat and let that cool off. You can actually hear it sizzling a little bit. And that's frying the garlic. Now, again, we're looking for that infused flavor, okay? And once that cools off, we'll bottle it up. Now, this is actually used to hold sarsaparilla from Silver Dollar City, from Branson, Missouri. I've had this for years. I cleaned it up specifically for this episode. So, been cleaned, sanitized, and all that other stuff because, safety first, right, folks? All right, we're going to take the lid off of this. Again, we are still working on the smell-o-vision for here on the Prince Magnum channel. We haven't quite got all that worked out, but eventually we will. For the third part of this, you guys are going to love this. I'll show you all in a bit what we're up to. Now, again, you're going to want, please note how dark the bottle is. You don't have to go to Silver Dollar City to get one of these. It's just got to be dark. So the sunlight has a hard time getting through it, and it's just got to seal up tight. That's all it's got to be. All right. All righty. Again, we have a total of 4 people now in the chat, along with 2 likes. Thank you all so very much. I do appreciate that. It means the world to me. All right. So the next part of this is just kind of waiting for the sizzling to slow down a little bit. There we go. Because the last thing we want to do is break this bottle. Oh, thank you so much for that like. Okay. So now we've got our garlic oil. 5 now. Thank you all so very much. Very carefully. Please be careful when doing this. Now, do not be afraid to get the garlic in there. That'll help with the infusion process. Let's see. What do I got? Oh, wait a minute. Where'd you put it? Don't tell Princess Faye. Thank you so much for that 4th like. Appreciate that. We're gonna go ahead and put the garlic in with this again. Every last little bit counts here. There we go. And that much. Don't tell Princess Faye I was using one of her chopsticks. Thank you so. Oh, we got a total of 6 in the live. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all being here for me. And we have a total of 4 likes still. Thank you so very much. Now we've got our garlic oil, and it's safely inside of a bottle. So this will now keep for a good little while. And the garlic is now settled down. We've got right about here on the bottle for our oil, okay? Now that we have done that, wow, quite a few of you here tonight. Well, I said it. I stand by it. We're going to make some bruschetta. Now, if you played it smart and got yourself some canned goods, which we did, let us make, where's my colander? I need my colander here. My good fancy dancy colander. Thank you again, all of you who have come into the live. Again, this is going to be really cool stuff. Make sure that if you've been prepared, you've got canned goods going. Okay, so I've got some diced tomatoes, no salt added. Brand does not matter. Okay, brand does not matter. I'm going to say, it's not that important. Okay, what is important is that we drain this. We don't want any extra juiciness in there. Okay, so I'm going to set this where it'll drain nice. Fancy can opener. I usually because can openers have a tendency to break here on the channel. I usually, what the heck did she do with them? I usually actually keep some military surplus can openers around. I think Princess Faye got aggravated with, oh, no. She didn't throw them all out. This is actually what I usually keep on hand when I'm doing cooking is these military grade can openers because they last forever. And as a matter of fact, this one here has probably been with us close to 3 years, if that's any indication. I usually get 6 months out of something like this. So, but any hoopty-doo. The small, the military ones are actually hard on the hands, though. Kind of sucks. All right, there we go. So we got our diced tomatoes open again. We'll let those drain for a moment. Now that we got that, I need a pan. But not just any pan, okay? I need a half sheet pan. It doesn't matter how beat up it is or what have you. And I need my cooling racks. You guys are going to love this part, all right? I'm going to start my broiler on high, okay? We're going to let that warm up, and we're going to get out some Italian loaf bread. You can get this at Walmart for $1, okay? It's a lot easier to get your hands on something like this than is the more popular white and wheat breads. Everybody's buying that up in a hurry. Thank you so much. 6 people in the chat, a total of 5 thumbs up. Thank you all so much. Most people are not going to go for this sort of stuff. Unfortunately, the bad thing about it is it does go bad fast. So you might want to consider buying some of it and storing it in the freezer and unthawing it as you need it, okay? Or learn how to make homemade bread, which we might be trying that soon. All right, so I'm going to lay this out. And I'm thinking, because I know Princess Faye will want a bunch of this when she comes home, I'm going to lay out a total of, you guys think 6? 6 is good? Sound like Michael Keaton from the first Batman movie. And let me say right now, when it comes to bread, I love the Italian loaf bread, and I like French loaf, French baguettes, because let me say right now, okay, just this little heel right here. One of the things that I look for in a good quality bread when I'm doing some serious cooking is, can I eat it alone? And by itself, this is amazing. Please note, I'm actually having to really chew this. That's because there's something for the teeth to get a hold of. You can't get that with your Wonder Breads, okay? I'm sorry. You just cannot get that. You just cannot beat the flavor, the texture, all that. Forget it. It ain't happening. That's some good stuff. Oh, my gosh. All right. Real quick. We're going to get this out. Get out a custard cup. Our garlic oil. Basting brush. Custard cup. Bread. Good quality bread. You can't do this with like your Wonder Breads and stuff like that, but I'm telling you right now, it doesn't even come close. We're going to add a little bit. Now be careful, this is still going to be a little hot if you take this directly. Okay? Don't waste this stuff. This is good stuff. You guys don't know what you're missing. Oh. We're going to brush this on. Again, we got the broiler going. Brush this on. Again, this is not extra virgin olive oil that I made this with. Extra virgin olive oil would have burned in the process, and it would definitely burn when it goes under the broiler. Okay? Just brush that on, right like that. Get it good and coated up where you can kind of see it glisten a little bit. Here, hang on a second. I'll show you what I mean. Find a really good slice, show you. You can kind of see how it beads up on the bread. That's what you're looking for, okay? Now that we've got our garlic, our garlic oil on here, we're going to crack open the oven, which we have the broiler on high. Now slide this under. Please be careful. And please note what I'm about to do. Notice I did not close this all the way. Number one, ovens have a tendency to cycle on and off, and it's just kind of the nature of ovens. Temperature goes up and down, so it just makes sense. If you keep it open, the thermostat can't cycle up and down, it stays on. Along with that, because we're talking about oil and everything, and I can't tell you how long it's going to take for this to toast. It just doesn't work that way, okay? Time is irrelevant. Color is. You're looking for a nice golden color, okay? And so the best way to do that is just keep an eye on it, because I can't tell you what the moisture content, how long ago the bread was made, all of those things until, it's bread and it's made with an agricultural product. I can't tell you any more than that. Wow, we have a total of 7 likes. Thank you guys so much. Wow, I love it. I love it. Okay, again, over here in my colander, I've got the tomato kind of draining. I'm going to rinse it off real good, okay? Because I don't need anything else other than tomato, okay? So I'm going to lay out a nice plate for retrieval, and I'm going to get a bowl of some sort. Where are my special looking? That's what I'm looking for. One of these. And I'm going to pour the tomatoes in. There we go. Looks kind of like that. Okay. Now that we've got all that taken care of, again, we've got a little bit of garlic oil left over. It's going to be good. All right. Hang on here. Where's my oven mitt? We're going to take a quick kind of look-see. My oven likes to get hot spots, so I have to rotate the pan, but I still have to keep a close eye on things. Please, again, notice I did not close this all the way. All right. Now, when this comes out, I'm going to take a couple of slices, and we're going to make our bruschetta. I've done this before in a live, probably like 1.5 years to almost 2 years ago, and it was a very popular episode. Very popular. Wow, a total of 8 likes. Thank you all so very much. Again, I showed how to make garlic oil, homemade pickles. You guys are going to have to watch the playback to catch all that. And the garlic oil, heart friendly, okay? Made from cold pressed olive oil and garlic. That's it. Nothing else. Doesn't get much easier than that. And with everyone trying to stay healthy, this is perfect. Perfect. Okay. And again, we are talking about possibly making our own bread, and we'll bake. If I do, we'll be baking that live. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah. We are done. And right now, what we have just made is, if you wanted to now, you could actually serve this as garlic toast right next to your favorite pasta, which is kind of what bruschetta is. We're going to go ahead and lightly coat our bread again with the garlic oil. And you could eat it just as is. Maybe even sprinkle on some freshly grated Parmesan cheese. But you know what I'm thinking? Right there. All right. I'm going to set a couple of these out on a plate right like such. All right. The rest of this is going to be for Princess Faye when she gets home. She likes to cut up avocados and kind of mash it on there. Mash it on garlic bread just like this. That tastes great too. Okay. But I would recommend, if you're going to do that, grind on some sea salt. Okay. So we're going to slide this out of our way for the moment. That's for Princess Faye. Ah, come on, you son of a gun. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to grab out my cilantro. Where's the cilantro? Ah, cilantro. You can get this sometimes at your local grocery stores. Dried parsley or dried cilantro. We're going to go with cilantro today. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just sprinkle that on. Not a whole lot. Don't load it down, Don't just bury this thing. A few of the diced tomatoes. And again, you could put on Parmesan cheese if you would like. That's completely and totally up to you. And we've still got some left over. We can use it in another recipe if we would like. Or I could just make some more bruschetta. Real quick, bruschetta is basically what we would call garlic toast. Okay. Funny, I did that to y'all. I'm going to get out some black pepper. Freshly ground black pepper. We don't do for years, I always bought the little cans of the black pepper that was already ground, and it was okay. When I compared it to fresh ground, whole nother ball game. And you could get this, and get one of these over at your local Dollar Tree for $1. It makes sense, We'll go, and then sprinkle on some dried cilantro. Very heart friendly, very healthy. Great for a snack. Great as a side dish. Have it any time of the day you want. Doesn't that look good? And if you wanted to be you wanted to really kind of jazz it up, hang on a second. You hear me say, you could put on Parmesan cheese and it'd be great, or even Asiago cheese. When I say Parmesan, I don't mean the thing in the plastic can, the plastic, jar. I mean this. This is Parmesan cheese. This is the real stuff. Yeah, it's a little bit more expensive, but I promise you the flavor compared to the stuff that you get in the plastic container, second to none. Okay, this is 1,000 times better. Okay, and which brings me to the most important thing that you're going to hear me say on the channel. Yes, every once in a while we do use pre-shredded cheese, but cheese that stays intact like this stays fresher longer, which means that the flavor is 100 times better. So, end of lecture on that. All right, so now that we've done that, I know some of you are wondering, okay, Prince Magnum, how are you going to take, you heard me mention the ramen noodles. Hang on a second. You guys are going to get a kick out of this. I promise you, this is going to be one of the coolest things you ever see. Okay. For those that do not know, ramen noodles was actually a design, ironically, by China. They've been torn by, the communist takeover, World War II, and the Japanese ravaging the country. They needed a food that had a long shelf life, and along with that long shelf life, would be cheap and easy to make. This is what we got, okay? And of course, it made its way through the Orient, and here in the United States, very popular among frat boys. Because they're trying, fraternities and college dorms and things like that. It's also very popular because it's easy to get on commissary if you're stuck in a prison. As a matter of fact, there's a channel out there called the After Prison Show, which kind of gave me the inspiration for adding this in, that they do episodes using ramen noodles, making what you would consider like a prison meal. What I'm going to show you is, I love ramen noodles. I love eating them. They taste great, and they're cheap, affordable. The problem is that They're not very heart friendly. These are cooked in a palm kernel oil, which is very bad for your heart. So during these hard times where you're not going to be able to get out there very much, a lot of people are under quarantine and things like that. Let me say right now, with this shopping nightmare, this is definitely going to be something that you're going to want in your pantry regardless. What I'm about to show you is about as healthy as you're going to get with it. It's just one of those things. It's the best we can do with what we've got. So we're going to get out my favorite pasta bowl. This is my favorite pasta bowl right here. Okay. And we're going to crack this open. All right. Brand does not matter. And we're going to empty all of the ramen noodles in. And we're going to put the whole thing in just like you see. Here's our flavor pack. We don't need this. Okay, this is a chicken flavored pack. Okay. I'm sorry. How do they get the salt to taste like chicken? A lot of questions automatically come to mind. How do they do that? I don't know, but I'm not willing to find out. This is mostly salt and no. We're going to season this a little bit differently. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to just submerge with regular water, okay? Filtered if you prefer, all right? Then we're going to come over here. Kosher salt is what we keep on hand, but for that little extra something, we have pink Himalayan or black Hawaiian, okay? Now, we're going to go ahead and go with the black Hawaiian today. I know a lot of health food stores do keep the pink Himalayan on hand. What's the difference between these two salts and what you typically find, your kosher salt or regular table salt? Well, these have minerals in it, which are actually good for you, and doesn't have the anti-clumping agents, or has iodine in it. And the iodine in regular table salt likes to mess with Prince Magnum's heart, and it's like that. So that's why we don't use table salt here on the channel. So we're going to go ahead and go with the black Hawaiian. Now, this comes in a grinder form. You can get this at your local Walmart. Maybe right now. I don't know. You're going to grind this on, okay? Just like that. It doesn't take a whole lot for this dish. And again, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to grab a fork, kind of wiggle this around a little bit, and kind of get that salt going in there, okay? It'll kind of permeate through the water and everything. It'll be fine. We're going to toss this in our microwave. Or you could do this on the cooktop if you're doing more than one serving, okay? Maybe you and the missus, you could do this for up to 4 people, so you'll want something this size then. But for me, this is just fine, all right? So I'm going to hit my cook timer, and I'm going to set this for about 3 minutes, all right? And again, this is how you take we're taking normal ramen noodles and cranking this up to an 11. Put some of this up. Now, I've got a little bit of my garlic oil here still left over, which that's just fine. We're going to need a little bit more than this. Just a little bit, because a little bit of this goes a long ways. The same garlic oil that we use to make our bruschetta, which while I'm waiting, that's good, guys. Oh my God. If you've never tried this, you are missing out. This is good. And get the tomato and just amazing. Man, oh man. Real quick, my partner Jammin' John absolutely loves whenever I would cook like this. When he was here, and he would go onto his live and almost rub it in people's face. He's like, Prince Magnum's cooking. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Mm. That's good stuff, man. Again, if you've never had anything like that, it's amazing. Amazing. We're down to about a minute left on our microwave. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up because, wow, I needed that. Blood sugar was getting a little low. Again, this is just simple survival food. Basically, just what we could, what hasn't been pilfered from the stores. Things that people wouldn't think to pick up. And we made an amazing dish, an amazing dish right here, just with what has not been pilfered from the stores. Black pepper's getting up my nose. That strong black pepper flavor goes right up the nose and makes you sneeze. Oh, but it tastes so good. It tastes so good, guys. All right. Our ramen noodles are now steaming. We're going to let those sit for about a minute. About a minute. Man down. Anyhow. Again, you can just make it real easy to make stuff. Real easy. And again, as long as we keep this out of the light and keep it airtight, this will keep for a very long time. So I'll definitely be putting this up in a cabinet, and we got lots of episodes to make and everything else. No, I need that. What am I doing? Now, please be careful. This is going to be ripping hot. Oh my gosh. And just from what you can tell with the steam coming off, this is going to be hot. Okay. Now, again, let this sit for a few moments, and we're going to drain off all of the water. We will not need it anymore. Then from there, we're going to add in, I'm basically going to be adding in the garlic oil that we made earlier. The same garlic oil that we used on our garlic toast that we turned into a nice bruschetta. Again, Princess Faye will have this waiting for her when she gets home. And the next part of this is that we're going to be adding in 2 cloves of garlic, the garlic that I cut up and crushed earlier in this live. We're going to add to this, and we might even splash on a little bit of apple cider vinegar. That would be up to you, okay? So I'm tired of waiting for this. So we're going to come over here and drain this all off. Be very careful. Again, this is going to be very, very hot. There we go. So now we're going to add in, drizzle it on. Don't just dump it in there. Just a little bit. A little bit goes a long ways in this. And you'll almost see it like take on a new car shine, which is what we're looking for. Okay. These are not overdone. We've got some tomatoes left over from our bruschetta, so we can add those in too if we'd like. Just like that. Just like that. Boom. Add in our garlic. And what the heck? Nature's superfood, almonds. Okay. These are slivered, toasted, usually in the baking section. Just a few of them. Ah, what the heck? We'll even top it off with a little bit of our dried cilantro, just as we did earlier for the bruschetta. What the heck am I doing? This is the cilantro. That's parsley. A little bit. And again, you could top off with Parmesan cheese. How's that for awesome, guys? There you go. Just like that. And we now have a somewhat healthy dish. Now, granted, again, the ramen noodles, are not very heart friendly, but this is as close as you can get. You know what? Just a splash. Just a splash. There we go. And look at that. Look at that. Very heart friendly. Good to go. How is that for amazing, guys? Thank you all so much. I got 2 people in the chat, it looks like, maybe more, and a total of 9 likes. 9 likes. That's pretty awesome, guys. Again, very simple dish, and it's stuff that you could probably still get very easily if they haven't pilfered the shelves where you live, okay? I know through the shopping nightmare, a lot of people have been struggling, and what I have just showed is what you can still get that's still widely available where I live, especially, okay? So, there you have that. Again, we're going to be touching, during this crisis, the Prince Magnum channel is going to do its part to show everyone how to make amazing dishes, how to make food stretch like you would not believe. We're going to try to do a lot of homemade stuff. Number one, not just because there's some people that that didn't get a chance to get the things that they need. You know, whether you got family or whatever, you know, you got children, you got to take care of them. I know a lot of people are really, really struggling right now. So we wanted to try to do that, but along with that, to kind of remind you that there's someone out there that still cares enough to go live to tell y'all it's going to be okay, and that sort of thing, that we're going to get through this mess. The United States has went through some pretty tough times. Being a person of history, you know, who enjoys studying history, especially American history, we have went through worse. I can tell you that my people went through a pandemic long before there was a United States. My people were actually given blankets that were basically laced with smallpox, and it wiped out several Native American tribes. A lot of well, it didn't wipe out tribes, but it wiped out several Native Americans. So my people have went through it, and we're still hanging in there. So this is just one of these examples that just like the pandemic that hit the Native Americans with the smallpox that was brought over here by the white man, basically given blankets given to us that were basically loaded with smallpox. Along with that, you know, if my people could have survived it and still managing to survive today, then I know the rest of the country will do just fine in these modern times. We will get through this mess, okay? So now you guys have some new cool cooking techniques that you can get, you know, again, these techniques, if people haven't pilfered all the shelves, you should be okay. Again, you can get apple cider vinegar. You can get your vinegar. Most people turn their nose up at vinegars. They go directly to the pre-made stuff anyways. So what I've showed you is how to get basically to take the raw ingredients, turn it into something that is going to be useful to you and will last you a long, long, long time. Again, we earlier in the live, we did homemade pickles, some sour pickles. We've got jalapenos in there, and within a week, we'll definitely be using those in a live. That stuff will go great on salad, pasta salads, just salad in general. And even the juice that we used in that can be turned into a vinaigrette because it's got vinegar in it. And all we got to do, we can even add some of our oil and make an amazing vinaigrette. And that's definitely a possibility where we may be looking at that. Okay. So again, we covered a lot of ground in this one. We covered a lot of ground. Um, in one of the next live streams, we're definitely going to be taking a look at doing some dried pastas, cooking that up, and we might be again. Uh, I'm probably gonna be showing you how to use just basic stuff that has not been pilfered from the shelves. Usually, where I live, the rice, white rice, has really flown off the shelves. Pasta, though, you can still get pretty easy. Some of y'all have to let me know in the comments section or right now in the chat if it's like that where you live. But I know in some places it's starting to get to the point where even brown rice is getting harder and harder to come by. So just kind of through this shopping nightmare, the Prince Magnum channel will be showing everybody as much skills that I have picked up over the years as possible. We're gonna try to help everyone out as much as we can while still helping ourselves, because every bit of knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. I can't say that enough. And again, I even openly admitted in this stream that something that I had said to Princess Faye like a couple days prior to this outbreak, where the country is now practically on full quarantine. I had said to Princess Faye, making jokes about the urban survival stuff, I said, man, that just did not work out for the channel. I mean, I left the videos up, but man, that was just that was stupid. And now I'm eating my own words, and I had to openly admit it on my own channel. I know by tomorrow we're definitely going to be replenishing my supply of bacon drippings. So we're probably going to make some homemade bacon bits. We might again, we're probably going to be looking at doing up some pasta. Who knows what we will be doing in tomorrow's live, but the Prince Magnum channel will be going live as much as possible to help everybody get through these dark times. Okay, and we're just going to try to bring as much goodness into your home as we possibly can. Again, I want to thank every last one of you who have stuck with me in this live. It means the world to me that we can all still connect like this. Thank goodness for modern technology where we can do that. And I'm curious where we are all at. Wow, there has been a lot of stuff said. I am so sorry. I've been missing out so much. For whatever reason, my chat was not updating. So I do apologize. I missed out on Sketch Squad TV, Mr. Sketch Scars. Katie was in here. My goodness. Mike, last name Hunt. I'm not going to say that together. Auntie Donna, my goodness, we had so many people in here. Wow, that is amazing. I did not know we had so many people. My chat was just not updating. I do apologize. Oh, man. Hopefully we'll work out the details on that. All right. So we are now at that stage where, again, for all of you out there, okay, get out there and work on a project. I don't care what it is. Just do something with yourself. Remember, idle hands and a creative mind go together like oil and water. Just don't mix, all right? If you got a sweetheart, sweep her off her feet. Do something special for her today. And as always, for all of you out there, every last one of you, especially in these dark times, if no one out there has told you that they love you today, Prince Magnum does. God bless you and have a happy 24. Thank you.